And good afternoon. Listen, I want to talk today about communication and listening to people that you don't agree with. Now, even me saying that, the fact that I'm inviting you to intentionally listen to people that you are directly either opposed to, have a conflict with, don't agree with the word that they say, may be a disagreement that you have. So even right now, I'm inviting you to listen to people that you don't agree with, just to hear it. And the idea is that when we do this, if we're in conflict, if we don't agree with someone, we give somebody the grace, we welcome them, we meet them where they're at, and we come face to face with another human being, not trying to sever connection, not trying to divide and conquer, but rather to understand and to hear what they're coming from, not with the intention or goal to convert them to our side, not to have conditions on why we're listening, not to have an agenda for what we wish to happen, but rather just so that we can listen to another human being, so that we can connect. You know, this is a question, a friend of mine, we were having a discussion today. What would happen to you if instead of trying to force your opinions on people, trying to be heard, you listen to somebody else for a change? You listen to people. What if we listened more to each other than we speak and declare? You know, in a debate setting, it's two forward, back and forth disagreements. And it's so often to sever that connection with other human beings for the sake of what we believe to be true. Listen, if your foundation is solid, I'm not talking about listening for the sake of changing or changing another person. I'm talking about honoring somebody else, respecting their opinions, which are entirely different than yours, listening with no agenda, no purpose, no intention behind changing that person, so that you can understand. And the reason for this is not for them or you, but rather to build a connection with another person so that they understand that they are heard, that you care about what they're saying, that there's freedom and love to bring an honest and open, transparent, and fearless communication forward. What would happen if we communicated more this way in the world today? What would happen in our world? And why is it so impossible for people to do this? These are questions that I have. These are questions I have internally for myself. In fact, I have such a hard time communicating with people that I disagree with that it's caused me some issues. Yet at the same time, when I want to learn something, I actually go to people that are completely opposed to what I stand for to learn what I don't know from that person. And I pick up what's good, what I want to apply, and I don't care or worry or fearful of getting, infected by listening to somebody else, listening to somebody that I am so opposed to everything coming out of their mouth. And so in this is a big conversation. This is something that I'm going to start pressing into more. I actually took a couple pages of notes here that I wrote down. If you want to pause the screen, this is just kind of what I wrote down. We must take ownership, be honest, fearless, recognize, be confident, to restore relationship, take ownership for our role, embrace, welcome, pursue, have agreement. I wrote down contractual honor, have no agenda, no conditions, no judgment, to listen to somebody else. What would happen? And instead of fighting against what we don't want, what we are opposed to, how do we come together and talk about what we do want to happen? There's a friend of mine, they run an organization that helps bring unity in divided situations with people that have common goals around issues like racism, women's rights, adoption, families coming together. And abortion issues, things like that, to come together and see how are we more similar and united than we are separate on these hard issues. And this even boils down to very simple stuff. You might have a conflict with somebody on that big political level. You might have a conflict with somebody based on what color of paint to put on the wall, what furniture to buy. What would happen in your relationships, in your marriage, if you listened intentionally to people that you are extremely opposite of? You see, they say opposites attract, yet why do we repel each other so much? Could it be that we were actually made to talk to people that we don't entirely agree with 100% of everything they say? To see what we can learn, what we can come together with, what we can bring to the table and talk about with common ground and see, what can I learn from you? What can you learn from me? And how can we come together? You have maybe stuff that I need. I have stuff that you need. Let's be open and honest with our communication and realize we're probably not going to agree on everything, and that's okay. But what can we learn? How can we move forward? And how can we help each other with common goals? So intentionally listen to people you don't agree with. Learn from other people. Don't be so prideful that you believe that you know everything, that you're so opposed to listening to somebody else that you oppose. And connect with people and grow. That's how we can grow our life. I'm going to do a podcast episode on this week. Like I said, my friend Justin Miller and I, we were talking about this. We're very opposite from each other, yet we're very connected in this right here. As we were talking about it, we walked through, the person who doesn't feel heard, feel acknowledged, feel honored, the person who kind of pushes their agenda and bulldozes over everybody. And how can we honor each other and learn from each other to communicate better, to build better companies, to build better structure, to lead better, to help other people grow? How can we bring our differences together with a common goal? And him and I have some common goals. Yeah, we also have very different goals, which is awesome. And we're coming together in that. And that was what we did today. We talked for a couple hours and we came up with that, We have to take ownership. We have to acknowledge our beliefs. We have to be honest. We have to apologize for our mistakes, take ownership for our mistakes, and make restoration, reestablishment, and recognition of another person's strengths more important than proving that we're right and being acknowledged ourselves. So grow your life, everybody. If you're not in the hashtag Grow Your Life community, there's over 1,000 people in there that are just like you, that are working together to come together in things that maybe they oppose on or different on, share each other's differences, and grow to the next level. Watch my videos every single day and listen to the podcast. We'll talk soon.